Guess what, folks? It's Game Crunch's 10-year anniversary.
Yay!
It's time to plug in headsets. It's time to press record. It's time to get things started on the podcast tonight. It's time to do our sound test. It's time to check the notes. Stop posting cat videos. It's time to go.
Why do you always attack? I guess we'll never know. It's try to be something to listen to the show.
Let's talk game of the year. Maybe some sound effects. Let's get this show started.
Let's just get things started.
Are you guys ready to get this started? On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, informational. This is what we call the Game Crunch Show. Cha. Welcome to Game Crunch, weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today we have Nick.
Hello.
And Brandon.
Hi.
We're here to talk about games and things.
We practically kidnapped Nick and brought him back.
Yeah.
Well, it's also our 10th year anniversary. How the fuck did that happen?
I walked back into my computer room like that scene in Tron Legacy when they walk into the arcade. And I was like,
Bro, Tron Legacy is not a good way to describe anything.
listen. It's along the same lines. It's an interactive Daft Punk album, that's why I like it. But
Yeah, that's true. But you remember the episode of Futurama where the plot line is Fry wants to destroy every copy of Tron Legacy in existence?
yes.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that movie.
So, yes, I've unearthed my computer once more, and now you are plagued to hear my voice for a bit of time.
Yeah. So what do we got to talk about? We got, I don't know, lots of game announcements.
Lots of them.
The torrent has been unleashed.
Yes.
Who was downloading?
I'm actually seeding.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm doing my part.
Man steps up, comes out of nowhere. I'm doing my part to help piracy.
Anyways. What do we got?
Yep.
Everything.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Maybe we should start with the first showcase, which was Summer Games Fest. Did anyone actually watch this other than me?
Because
I watched bits and pieces.
I was home from work that day
Mm.
because I was trying to survive the smog, and I was like, "All right, let me put on Jeff Keighley's video game extravaganza." And,
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was all right.
He Jeff Keighley'd us again,
Mhm.
where the show started. He's like, "You might want to stick around for the end if you want your dick blown off." I don't, but what are you going to show me that's going to happen?
Bro, you're not even wrong. He did straight up do that.
Honestly, I thought Jesus was going to walk out on the stage himself and be like,
I mean, he
"Guess what,
kinda did.
bitches?"
Bro, he kind of did. Let's be honest.
You're right. You're not wrong. But I did feel as though there was somebody there that like there was going to be an announcement of just worldly proportions, and it wasn't. But
Let's be honest. The best part of Summer Games Fest was my favorite meme that's come out of it. Put your hands together for Nicolas Cage. That look on his face, where he's just like,
oh my god,
it's so good. That's what I meant by Jesus did come out on the stage, because
did
I
come
fucking
out.
love Nicolas Cage.
yes, he did come out. It was very good. He actually looked like he was happy to be there too.
Yep. Yeah.
He looked like he had dementia and he didn't know where he was. Honestly.
He did. He was dressed like a stick of double mint gum. I will say that. He did dress for that occasion.
That's probably just like an elaborate face-off scene. It probably wasn't even him. It's probably John Travolta.
It's John Travolta.
Probably.
What if in Dead by Daylight, the Nicolas Cage skin as an alternate costume? This is John Travolta.
You know what's funny? I look at that character model for him in Dead by Daylight, and it doesn't. I don't get Nick Cage from it, but then if I look at it fast, I do. But if I look at it for too long, I don't. Like, it's weird. It's very odd. I also don't know why he's in Dead by Daylight.
He explained it.
Well, barely. I mean, he's like, I want to be in a video game.
No. He straight up said, I found out this game here, Dead by Daylight, through a family member, has this murderous ghost named Sadako, and that was good enough for me. That's basically what he said.
I think they definitely missed their chance to add a level with him that was the basically the Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff that he did.
Oh my god, that movie was so bad, but really funny.
Like, they should have definitely been like, all right, you guys just can run around in this not Charles Entertainment Cheese facility for legal reasons.
I want to see that movie, the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie coming out this year.
Did you guys like anything? Did anything, stick out to you from Summer Games Fest?
Let me think. The trailers that I saw, I thought the new Sonic looked pretty cool.
Oh, it looks great. And the music's being done by the same guy who did the music for Mania, T. Lopez. So
Nice.
Get prepared for bangers.
Although I don't know why they turned it to jellyfish. I didn't understand that.
I think that was just a callback to Sonic Colors, right?
I'm fine with it. Because they did come out and say there will be no returning level, so like you're not gonna just pop the game up and be in Green Hill Zone or Chemical Planet. So like, yeah, do some cool stuff. That the jellyfish stuff actually looks kind of neat.
Part of me hoped it was like a Sonic 2 remake. That's kind of what I thought at first.
Yeah. I thought Mortal Kombat looked great. The new Mortal Kombat looked awesome.
Yes and no. You know what's weird? I was discussing Mortal Kombat with my buddy over the weekend, and it's like it both does and doesn't look good, because if you look at the set pieces, the stages and whatnot, they all look great. The character models, not so much.
Okay.
And we also, from that trailer, I understand where all 100 gigabytes are going. It's in Johnny Cage's
ass. Yeah, we were making that joke on my stream. We were like, do you think that Jean-Claude Van Damme's one stipulation for being the voice of Johnny Cage was you have to give me the fattest fucking dumpy ever?
Yeah, like he just went into the studio.
We got Jean-Claude Van Damme, but we had to there were some stipulations involved. So it's like, bro, do you actually think that was a stipulation?
It could be. Because that's a huge ass. But
it looked good. I thought it looked amazing.
I thought it looked great. Yeah. It looks fun to play, and really, that's all I can ask for at this point.
That's all I really care about. Yeah, I don't like all this other shit of, you got Fire God, Liu Kang, whatever.
Yeah.
Is it fun to play? Alright, cool. Are you gonna patch it into the ground within a month? No? Even better.
Yeah, let's talk about one other fighting game really quickly, since we're on this conversation about fighting games. What do you think of Street Fighter 6?
Absolutely love it.
It's fucking banger, dude. It's so good. It's so good. It is so good that I let my friend play it through my account on Steam, right? Because he was like, I want to play it. And I was like, all right, whenever I'm playing Diablo 4, you can play it. Yeah, go for it, man. And then, the next day, he went out and bought the game. He liked it that much. And he's not even a huge fighting game player.
My only blemish on it is the soundtrack is not good.
Yeah, it's kind of eh. But it fits the vibe, but it needs to be better. It's not that it doesn't fit; it just needs to be better produced.
Yes, very much so. I've been playing as Kimberly and Cammy, just to kind of.
I've been Cammy and Juri.
Okay, yeah, Juri's good as well. But no, the game's great. I love the World Tour mode, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yes, it's really fun.
But the main what I like about it is there's just somebody in the street and you can be like, absolutely fucking not, and then just dive kick them.
Exactly.
And now you're fighting.
I love that element too. And if you go out at night, pretty much everyone wants you dead.
Yes. That's really cool. But yeah, I have been enjoying that video game. It's very good.
Same. We should play it at some point. It'll be fun.
For sure.
I've got a Stream Editors Club you can join if you want to be part of things.
I'm in that Discord.
I mean, we made a club in Street Fighter 6.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you. I was confused for a second. I was like, I thought I was already in the club.
No, we got a lot of people from our group playing Street Fighter 6, which
Alright.
don't normally play it. Like my friend, like I said, who's not like big on fighting games. He picked up Modern Controls and he's like, it just kind of feels like I'm playing Smash Brothers now because like
Yes.
the Y and forward, Y and back, Y and down, that sort of thing. And he's like, and I really like that. It makes it so I don't feel like I'm terrible and I feel like I can actually play the game against people and
Yeah.
not get frustrated. And I was like, well, great. I'm
It's a very good
happy.
way to get people to
I'm very happy for you, honestly.
Yeah. Love that.
Mhm.
But, so
That's the kind of accessibility I can get behind. That
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
accessibility right there, totally fine.
Yeah.
If it's optional, totally fine.
yeah, I'm definitely with that.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I like the new Prince of Persia. Thought that looked cool.
Does look good. It like I'm not a huge Prince of Persia person,
Mhm.
but it was like a 2D, 3D like.
My
side
thought is
scroller
it's
that
just
was
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I would say it looked very Metroid
Yeah.
esque.
which is good.
But I
'cause
thought there was a
that's-
nice kind of like change up for it.
No, I like
Yeah.
it. I like it as well. I just
yeah.
it doesn't remind me of Prince of Persia. It reminds me more of Castlevania. But that's okay because I like Castlevania.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this will be like right up my alley.
Mhm.
It's definitely something I'm gonna enjoy. What else? Oh, in the what was it? How did you guys feel about that trailer for Toxic Commando? John
So I
Carpenter's
liked it
Toxic
because it
Commando?
felt like we were going back to Left 4 Dead, where it's like the characters have character in a zombie survival game,
Yes. Yeah.
and I dig that.
I do dig that,
Mhm.
but when I was in a chat with my friends when we were watching it, I was like, wow, the zombie disease must also make them run in 20 frames per second. 'cause their movement is crazy.
Oh yeah, it looked very jank, but yeah, I really liked where the radio cut off and everyone saying "shot through the heart" and "you're to blame," and it like made them all feel like an actual character.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, cool. We need more of that in like horde shooters, characters like Left 4 Dead gave us.
I mean,
So-
yeah, like that was the whole draw for
Mhm.
Left 4 Dead, is all the goofy characters.
Exactly.
For me, anyway. But yeah.
Alan Wake 2 looked excellent.
I still never played the first one.
I highly recommend it, and the second one looks great.
Have you both played it?
I played the first one. I thought it was good.
All I can remember from Alan Wake 1, and this is
Mhm.
probably gonna like really date my age, is when the 360 first came, like the version that came out on 360, and everybody was dunking on it because all the Verizon ads.
Oh, it also had Energizer Rabbit ads.
Yes.
Every single battery you picked up for your flashlight was Energizer.
Yeah. I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, there was there was like TVs with just like flashing Verizon ads.
Mm-hmm. So, do you remember any of the plot line?
No, I never played it.
Oh, okay.
I just remember seeing like those screenshots and being like, "This game's stupid." I just never
Alan Wake
bought
is
it.
basically Stephen King, but every story he writes comes to life.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm with that. That's cool.
It's very good. It's very, very good. And if you've played Control, which I think you have,
Not yet.
okay. Alan Wake is in the universe of Control as well. He's in a DLC.
Okay.
So if you play both those games, you get a lot more out of it.
Very good. I'm with that.
Baldur's Gate 3 looks fantastic. I'm very excited for that.
Yep.
I'm liking Lucius Malfoy's dad Lucius Malfoy, the dad, playing one of the new characters. He looked awesome.
Mhm.
Looked like a lot of fun. I don't know why, right? I do not know why we had a PlayStation showcase last week and they didn't give us a release date for Spider-Man 2. They did here.
So I think I messaged you guys shortly after. I'm not sure. I would say like a
They
week
straight
after.
up cucked PlayStation with this showcase.
It was like a week later because I remember the PlayStation showcase happened, right? And it was kind of like a wet fart.
Mm-hmm.
And then like forget what they announced a week later.
I don't know.
What did they announce a week later that I was like, oh wow, if only they just had a showcase where they could have shown this.
Oh,
off.
Ratchet and Clank PC.
Yeah. They didn't like talk about it at all. Like instead of showing that, they're like, hey, here's this trailer for Gran Turismo. The same one you've seen because I know
the movie.
this trailer that
Doesn't make
you've all
no.
seen because I know you have all seen Spider-Verse 2. You've seen this trailer.
And
We're
it
gonna show it to you again.
wasn't even the best Sony trailer.
It wasn't.
I firmly stand by that. I actually think, and we'll get to that, I think Twisted Metal looks really fun. that was shown off.
Oh yeah. No, it wasn't even like they're like, why are we showing this? Like, you should have been like, hey, this huge game that people loved, you can now play it on your PC. Like, why is that not?
Yeah.
Getting screened for, and then like again a couple weeks later they were like, oh, we had this big showcase about Spider-Man 2 at the end of the thing, and they're like, it's coming soon. Everybody was kind of like, what the fuck, it's supposed to come at the end of fall. Everybody's getting worried. And then he just comes out on stage with Jeff and he's like, oh, October 20th.
No, he literally sprinted on stage once the Spider-Man like screenshot behind Jeff appeared. You literally see a man run in from off stage like, I gotta do this shit now.
The only thing I can think of is that they maybe were not like,
Sony was holding a gun to him on the other side.
No, like, this was not going to be a thing, and then since everybody was like poo-pooing it because they didn't announce a release date at the Sony showcase, they're like, fuck it, we could do it here. Maybe, I don't know, but it does feel kind of silly, and this is not the first time Sony has done like their own showcase, like State of Play.
What we don't know is that Sony was like, this is the release date. This date has to be, and they're like, guys, we're still working on the game right now. And they're like, better take a fucking laptop with you to the Summer Games Fest. Once he goes backstage, he's literally fucking coding for the game in the back.
I think they did that with the God of War PC release.
Well,
like,
it was a good release,
like,
so I mean,
that just like shadow dropped out of nowhere, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I know we had a State of Play last week where this could have been like, you know, a big thing, but we just were like, what if we didn't?" And they didn't. But Spider-Man 2 does look very good. I'm super excited for it. I'm interested because Venom is not Eddie Brock in this.
Yeah, he's his own thing in this.
I have no idea what they're doing with Venom, but like, I'm excited for it.
They said it's a totally new Venom for this game.
But it looks very, very good, and I was honestly already hyped off of it, coming off of the heels of watching again Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse. So now I'm just in that mode of just give me all the Spider-Man content you can, and I'm super excited for that game. Did you see the digital collector's edition, the skins that you can get for it?
The fucking Tatsunoko skin?
That
looks
straight
awesome.
up Power Ranger skin.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
It's very good. It's very good.
I'd be lying if I didn't say I was excited for this game. I would say it's like on the lower end of the games I'm most excited for the rest of this year, but like it is definitely up there. Like, it has potential.
Like, I'm gonna put it to you this way: I'm actually more excited for the Vampire Survivors update that came out
right now. Yeah,
today, like more than Spider-Man 2. Just because I love that game so much. But I'm right there with you, where I'm like, yeah, it's on my radar. I'm gonna play it, but what I'm most excited to play at the end of this year.
I mean, I've got 2 Yakuza games coming out. I've got 2 Yakuza games coming out, which leads me to my next announcement. We got Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, which brings back Kiryu from the original Yakuza series, and is going to have his own mini side story. I'm super excited for this. It comes out November 8th, and it was announced at this showcase as well. I mean, awesome. It's just awesome. I'm so excited.
And then they also announced Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Yeah, that was Xbox. We'll get there.
Was it Xbox or was it here?
It was Xbox. They only announced one here at Summer Games Fest and one yesterday at Xbox.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. They blurred together.
That is okay.
It did blur together.
That is okay. One's 2024 and one takes place in the United States of fucking America, and one doesn't.
That's fine. That is very fine. I know you played. Mike, did you end up ever playing any of the Yakuza games? I felt like
no, I have not.
You definitely should. You have Game Pass.
Brandon keeps telling me to.
You have Game Pass. It's all of them are on Game Pass.
Yeah.
You should at least play 0. I feel like the Yakuza games are so unique and so different from anything else that's made today that they are like definitely like a standout. Like the only thing that feels like a Yakuza game other than an actual Yakuza game is a spin-off Yakuza game.
But now I have Hot Boy Summer Yakuza to look forward to.
You do have that.
I'll wait for that one.
Bro, that's Yakuza 8. You're literally going to be missing out of 7 games worth of plot.
I will say, while I am here, so I can ask that question, because Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, is that a part of the main Yakuza series, or is that
Yeah.
branching off of like a Dragon, or the other Like a Dragon game that came?
All right, so the games are no longer called Yakuza as of
I know.
last year. They are all
I
called
do know that.
Like a Dragon, and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is Yakuza 8 retitled. So that is the continuation of Yakuza 7, but the one with Kiryu in it that was also announced is a bridge between Yakuza 7 and Yakuza 8. So the big thing about Yakuza 8 is both of the Yakuza protagonists will be in Yakuza 8. So
Gotcha.
so yeah. One's a side game that is digital only, which is the one with Kiryu, and the other one is Yakuza 8.
Okay.
Which
Gotcha.
is a hot boy Yakuza summer, as Mike
was.
put it.
Yeah. I mean, he was at the beach with his meat and 2 veg out. So
Yeah, my dude was just dong slung,
yeah, just donged
hanging
up.
along.
He just donged up.
I feel like there's got to be a better pun for that.
My man. Hold on. There's gotta be fucking. I feel like there's a connection between him having a large wiener and like the title Like a Dragon. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's something there, but it's not. I don't know. It'll come back to me.
Dick like a dragon.
Yeah,
Like a dragon.
like a dragging my dick across this beach. I like a drag my dick across this beach. There you go.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
There wasn't much else announced here. Like legitimately, there wasn't much else.
Like
I
new
will.
announcements. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I will also point out Power World, which is Pokemon with guns. That was shown up here.
That is wild, and I am going to be playing that until they shut it down eventually.
Well, it depends on how hard of a grind it is. I mean,
Desert's
still going, and it's made by the same people.
Saw Wooloo with a machine gun. That's all I needed.
Yep. Yeah, Sandland, the game by Akira Toriyama.
Yeah,
that looked cool.
I was making fun of that while the trailer came out because I was like,
"Oh, why?"
Oh, I always make fun of Akira Toriyama because in my mind, back in like the 70s, he was like, "I've made this one face. That's it. That's all we will ever need." Add hair to it. Boom. Now long hair, it's girl. Short hair, boy. More aggressive eyebrows with furls. That's old man. So, that does look fun.
I don't disagree, but I do think this looks like fun compared to many of his other games.
No, you're 100. Like, I will play this over like, what was it, Blue Dragon any day.
Yeah,
I agree with you, 100%.
Yeah. Life of P, which also got a demo.
Yeah.
Was announced as well, and that game looks excellent. I have not got to play the demo yet. I really want to. I just haven't sat down to do it. But that game looks like a lot of fun, and I think that's it. I think that's it for that portion of Summer Games Fest.
I will say there were some trailers announced or shown off.
Oh wait, should we talk about the one for blowing your dick off, like that one?
Well,
the trailer he hyped
if
up.
If we could, real quick, there's two that were of games that were already announced that I'm even more excited to play now.
Okay.
One of which is what the fuck is it called? I'm scrolling down to see if I can find it. Oh, the Party Animals game. That looks
it looks like fun. Yep.
Yeah,
very
that's
good.
cute.
And then there's the Path of Exile 2.
Path of Exile 2 also got more gameplay yesterday, and it looks excellent.
It looks like what I want. Like, it's more Diablo, which is good. Which is like...
Hold on. Let me interrupt you for 1 second. Diablo 4 is more Diablo 2, and it's fucking great. I know you do not want to support Blizzard, and I completely understand that, but I will tell you this. It is so good. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, for the stuff that we already knew about and got new trailers for, like those things I'm pretty pumped for.
Mm-hmm.
So the blow your dick off, your life's never going to be the same. I think his exact words were like, "You haven't seen this before. It's totally new." And then it cuts to the whole show. We see the trailers for the movies, and then he had to throw in a DoorDash advertisement after the.
That was so funny.
Of course.
Trailer.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, no, it wasn't after a 16 trailer. It was after a mobile Final Fantasy 7 game.
Oh, because
he goes, speaking of Final Fantasy, and everyone was like, oh, DoorDash. You literally heard the crowd like deflate after.
That's the FF7 for people like me who just wanted the original game remade.
I know.
Only gonna be on phones for some reason. It's fucking stupid. But no, his big finish. He looks you dead in in the camera, which I felt like he was looking me right into my soul, and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
the rumors were true," and I was like, "What are we talking about?" And then it's fucking FF7 Rebirth, the first like trailer for that.
So I did some research, right?
Uh-huh.
Early that morning, there were rumors of this game leaking and being available on 2-disc. I feel like he literally saw like Reddit early that morning, and he was like, "I have to make some I have to make some changes. I have to make some changes to the show," and then he did that.
Yeah, and you know what's funny too? If you're
He's
paying
like,
attention,
I think it looks really fucking good. I actually
It does.
rather enjoyed the ending and how they're doing something different. I really want Cloud to die this time instead, and it would make me happy, and I would laugh pretty hard.
I think if Cloud dies and then they're like, Zach, you're the pro tag now, I'd be like, sweet, fantastic.
This is a better game.
No, but what I was gonna say was it's funny because like leading up to it, like Square Enix was very much so teasing like a trailer being shown off at Summer Games Fest, so it wasn't like this.
But every time Square Enix has teased the trailer, it's just been for Final Fantasy 16.
Right. But they were doing specific like QA stuff with FF7 the week of. Like it was specifically for FF7. But no, it does look very good, and honestly, it's made me want to go back and play the game on PS5 because I never finished it because I really wasn't like. Besides, it's just me not finishing things.
When you say never finish it, did you ever get to like the ending of the like actual full game?
God.
Oh my god! Okay, I recently sat down and finished the whole game. Not the DLC, but the whole game.
Yeah.
That ending alone, the last like 30 minutes of that game, made me be like, all right, cool. I don't know what's happening, but I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it. It was so good.
I do want to try diving back into it because it just wasn't hooking me. And I don't know what the reason was. I think, is the PS5 upgrade free for the base game?
I don't know, but if you have the special edition PlayStation Extra thing, it's on there.
Okay,
you just download and
Fair
play
enough. But I do agree with you. The trailer did look very good, and they're like it does.
This picks up like right where the last game ended, basically.
Yeah. And honestly, I was excited to see Red 13 because I love Red 13.
Red 13 is a playable character. That's fucking nuts because he's not in.
He's not
in the one that already.
I do want to see what the fuck's the cat Kate Sith. I do want to see Kate Sith.
You get to see him for 3 seconds in part 1 for no reason whatsoever.
For no reason.
Like, here's Kate Sith, Mike.
He's not supposed to be there.
What?
I think that's one of the things that frustrated me when I was playing that game too, because like I got to that part where Kate Sith was just like in the background, just like doing his thing, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
So I will tell you this, and this is one thing that's wild about the game, and I'm not spoiling like anything like major, but it's massively hinted at throughout the entirety of Final Fantasy VII like remake part 1 that like Aerith knows the original Final Fantasy VII game exists and that she's going to die. It's massively hinted at throughout the entire game. That she knows that game exists, more or less, like through a parallel dimension or something. Yeah, the reality of that game exists.
Well, at this point, everyone fucking knows, so it's not surprising that she knows.
I know. Yeah, I know. So, like, the entire thing is kind of her just being like, "Yeah, I know I'm gonna die. I don't give a fuck." But then it's like everyone's like, "What if we change that?"
No, you can't. It's a canon event.
No, I'm pretty sure they have. I'm pretty sure they have at this point. I mean, you mentioned Zach, and if you already know that Zach's there...
Oh, well, Zach shouldn't even be there. Yeah, Zach should not even be there.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they have changed events. That's why I literally think either Tifa or Cloud is going to die instead of Aerith. And I'm going to I'm going to laugh my ass off if it's Cloud.
I would legitimately be mad if Tifa died because I think she's the best character in that, like, just... in Final Fantasy VII, basically.
I agree. The original, I feel like she's one of the weaker in the remake, and I feel like her voice actress is really bad, like just really bad.
I also
compared to everyone else.
Still want her in a Tekken game at some point. I just feel like it'd be very.
You could just make her in Street Fighter 6.
I could just make her. It's not the same. I want like Final Fantasy fucking fanfare music when I win. I want her to be like serving up a drink. Like I don't know. I want the.
But in case you haven't noticed, Capcom's doing collabs with different games.
They are.
That's in their Battle Hub. So I mean,
I
maybe.
did laugh when they were like the Exo Primal collab. I was like, y'all are in the same office. You went down the office. You're like, you want dinosaur robots in the fucking Street Fighter? Yeah, why not? That's not a collab. That's just that's just two guys shooting the shit at that company.
Yeah, I mean that's like having the fucking Dante coat and hair for Kin as an alternate.
Yeah, it's not. That's not a collab. You tell me when you get like fucking like Grimace, McDonald's in there. Like that's a collab, baby.
It's his birthday right now too. I mean, what is that?
You see the purple Grimace shake that just looks like the ooze that Ivan Ooze was selling to children?
Yeah.
I didn't think about it like the ooze, but you know what? That is fitting. I keep getting emails from Grimace because I signed up for the McDonald's.
From Grimace. Not from McDonald's corporate. No, Grimace emailed me today.
And literally it's like, hello, I'm Grimace. I got fat fingers and I can't type. I apologize. So, of course, who else could it be, Nick?
I mean, okay, fair enough. I would hope there's
McDonald's
somebody
clever
in McDonald's HR parading to be Grimace.
Okay, you're being cynical right now.
I don't want it. I don't want to be the fake Grimace. I want to be the real one. But yeah, other than that, the whole of Summer Games Fest was okay.
It was fine. It was better than Sony showing. That's for damn sure.
It definitely for sure was. Yeah, I mean that's the baseline. So it was better than Sony showing.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask, did you watch Devolver Digital's thing also that they had that day?
I missed it.
Oh, it was so good.
It's always good. It's never
It
not
is.
good.
It is. It's like an entire like fake mockumentary on Volvi, who is Devolver Digital's mascot, and how he fell from grace, and it's so good. It's really good.
Was there anything between Summer Games Fest and the Xbox showcase?
Well, we could say that Atlas decided to make something in between Summer Games Fest and the Xbox showcase.
Oh yeah, they did.
Atlas accidentally leaked on their fucking Instagram Persona 3 remake
and Persona 5
Persona 5 Tactica, I think is what it's called, or something.
Yeah.
Which is basically Persona 5 Fire Emblem.
Yes, it is.
I don't like the art style, I'll be honest. But...
So it's following the Persona Q games that were released on 3DS. They kept that art style. I don't know why they're going back to that art style for this, but no.
It does make me wish that they would port
the Q
to,
games,
like, Steam and Switch, and like PlayStation and Xbox.
Somewhere we can play them, maybe.
Why have they not been ported?
Because you haven't asked hard enough.
I guess not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just for me, it seems like it would print money.
Remember, you guys asked fucking Suda51 to port Killer 7, and then the next day he was like, "Yeah, I'll do that. Fuck it."
Not on the Switch though. He did it on the PC. Where's my Switch copy? That's what I want.
I know.
I still think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be at this Grasshopper Direct.
I hope so. I hope there's a lot of things that we don't know about announced at the Grasshopper Direct, and it's not just like, here comes Lollipop Chainsaw.
That's not Grasshopper this time.
Oh, you're right.
So that's not going to be there. So yeah, so I'm like, there's got to be something else. There was a rumor that he was working on a Flower Sun Rain remake.
Oh, okay.
Which I would totally be down for because that story is fucking batshit insane.
I would literally buy anything that Suda51 made at this point. Just anything.
Honestly,
yes.
After seeing that man live in the flesh at MomoCon, how many ever years ago that was, and just watching him giggle at his creations, I'm like, this man is batshit insane. I will follow him to the ends of the earth.
To the end of the earth. I feel like Suda51 and Swery are like two of the developers that I'm just like, all right, guys, whatever you got for me, just show it. Just show it. Shut up and take my money, good sir.
For sure.
Yeah, and even that trailer for the Shadows of the Dam remake was just crazy, even though it wasn't even like the game.
It was very silly, and I love that it had very like early 2000s Adult Swim vibes.
Yes.
It kind of felt like that trailer for the announcement trailer was made by like Devolver Digital.
Oh yeah. I was saying, it's very weird that like they picked that game because I feel like when that game, I mean, obviously it's like a cult classic status now.
Yeah.
I do feel like for the most part it's like deep into those cult classic depths.
Oh, I know. I think it's because the EA just finally lost their grip on it. So, because they had that publishing deal with EA, and it finally just ran out. So that's why I got pulled from all the service stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
that makes sense.
I'm glad I bought a copy, and just in case they didn't do this.
I still have the
Now
PS3
I'll buy it again.
copy.
I almost rebought it on 360 again, just so I could play on my new Xbox. But
Series
now with this,
X?
I'm like,
Yeah.
You know, I have the PS3 copy from when we all played it.
yeah,
Yeah, same.
great game.
But yeah, so that was everything that Jeffy Boy had. Outside of the Game Awards, I don't know if you
Game
saw
Awards.
the Game Awards. Oh, fuck. Summer Games Fest. They all bleed together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing.
He like tweeted out like nobody got arrested today, and then like
Yeah, I
the
saw
kid
that.
got arrested was like he was like just talking shit. Like that kid's a little weirdo, but he did like mention that nobody was getting arrested. So
Yep.
So
I think we can move to the best showcase of the week. I mean, like, I watched all the other showcases, but, like, they're kind of hit and miss, and really a lot of them were missed. Oh my god, the PC Gaming Showcase was the fucking worst. I had to
never
mute it.
good. It's never good.
Yeah,
Bro.
no, we don't even need to talk about that one because it's shite.
It was fucking trash.
But Microsoft was great. I
Yep.
thought I like how it started out with, and I can never remember the actor's name, the guy from the IT crowd with that crazy ass Fable.
Oh,
trailer.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember his character's name is Moss from the IT crowd.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, it looked really good. I thought it was really funny. I like the narration. I don't feel like I really know how it's going to play, but
That wasn't
They
gameplay,
showed
right?
they showed a little bit of gameplay. It was only when she was climbing up the like stairs, like on top of the thing, when like we realized the guy that was talking the whole time was actually a giant, and then she started fighting him. That was like the only bit of gameplay we got of it, and it was very very little.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I thought that looked good, but yeah, not really too much to say. I don't even remember.
Mhm.
Did they give a date for it?
Just 2024, I believe, is what it said.
Okay. Yeah, but it looks wild. So
We'll also
that's fine.
see if it's because I think they were saying that Fable was going to be the first like you need a Series X to play. I believe. Like it
I think
won't work on Series S.
Mhm.
But
I'm not
I
100%
wonder.
sure.
I wonder how if that's probably. I would assume that's had to change by now, especially because spoilers. They did announce a newer version
Of the Series S.
Series S, which
Mhm.
is just more space, which I will say is a good deal when you consider the price of an SSD or the NVMe's that you have to buy for the Xbox.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So if you already have one, go for it. So I'm wondering if they're like prepping for that because bigger games. I don't know. To me it seems like they're probably gonna roll that back a little bit. And you'll be able to play Fable on both of them.
Maybe you won't be able to play it natively. Maybe they'll do it through like the cloud or something.
Yeah, like XCloud or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that would be a fine, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Concession to make. I
yeah.
guess, or something.
Yeah, or yeah, that's a good word to use.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you could still play on Series S, but it has to be through the cloud. And it's like, no, I mean, I can still play it. Yeah, if I could, yeah. And they could sell it like, oh, and like it'll look as good as if you were playing on Series X or something, which would actually be a really good selling point.
Yeah, for their XCloud stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm,
mm-hmm.
We got to see South of Midnight next, which I couldn't really understand what this was, but I really like claymation, so this looked really cool.
Yeah, no, like whatever your game that you're making, if you have like a really interesting art style, chances are I will pay attention to it. At least for
Yep.
So yeah, no, it does look very interesting.
We then got the announcement that Ubisoft now has the rights to Star Wars, apparently.
Yeah,
With
Oh, yeah,
Star
what's
Wars
that
Outlaws.
they look
Don't know.
pretty interesting though. I thought.
They showed it off today, and it doesn't look like it has much direction. It looks like it's trying to be a lot of things at once and nothing particularly
So Ubisoft,
just,
like amazing. Yeah, basically
Just Star
Ubisoft,
Wars
yeah.
in general in the last
Mhm.
decade.
all right. Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
At least trailer-wise, it looks fine.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Nick, if it wasn't for the fact that Jedi, Fallen Order, and Survivor are both really good games.
Broken Clock is right twice a day.
That's fair.
Da-da-da.
I'm saying the overarching Star Wars stuff for the past 10 years.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying I think those are like the standout titles.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And of course, they're like the last two titles that fucking EA makes of Star Wars. Yeah, so we then got the Persona 3 remake officially announced.
Yeah. People
And-
are a little bit upset about it, though.
What? Really?
Yep.
Well, because they aren't including, for some reason, aren't including content from FES or P3P. They are including some content, but like not all of it.
Listen, we both know why. We're gonna get Persona 3 Reloaded Royale in
Yeah.
like a year and a half.
I didn't even think about that, and it's fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
They don't sell that as DLC, right? It's just like a whole new.
It's just a whole new game
Yeah.
every time
dumb.
they do it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's silly.
But Persona 3 is my favorite of the entire Persona series. So,
I will look forward to playing for the first time.
yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun. I don't know how it's going to translate to a full remake because the reason I like Persona 3 so much is because it's a lot more pulled back. There's like 100 floors in this increasingly difficult dungeon crawler aesthetic that you get to go to at midnight and travel through that's like generated randomly, but then some things are always in the same place. And like that element of it where it actually feels like a dungeon crawler old school RPG like it was meant to, because it was a PS2 game, that element is what I really like about the game, like a lot. And then the characters are also really fun and the way they like have their powers. But I'm curious because I never saw in this trailer the iconic way they summon their personas. So I'm very concerned about that.
They might not show it in the trailers because they would have to change the rating of the trailer.
Yeah, probably. But I'm also concerned that they might have changed it to something else.
They also
or, like,
might have because
censored it completely.
If you looked at the UI, it's
Mhm.
not a
It's
revolver.
no longer a gun.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't know if
In case you do not know, Mike, the way they summon their personas in Persona 3 is by committing suicide and blowing their own brains out.
Yes, I do know that. Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
that there's a solid chance that could have changed. I
Mhm.
would say, but we'll see when it comes up. So
Yeah.
it looks fun.
Oh, wait, I do see one clip at 51 seconds where the man clearly has a gun to his head.
Okay. Good.
Okay,
Okay.
it definitely happened. It definitely still happens. Good.
All right.
Sorry, there's some things I don't want to change, and that's one of them.
Fair.
Yeah, no, I don't. I wouldn't want that to change either. That seems like that would be a bit of a dramatic change from the
Like, the
original.
game is rated M for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Totally agree.
What's next? Avowed?
Avowed! I
Yeah.
think this looked great.
Yeah, it looks decent.
Yeah.
I think there's been a little bit of deflation in terms of people's excitement for it because I think they were looking too much into what it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think some people thought this was going to be like Obsidian's Skyrim, I guess. And that was never their actual like intentions with it. It was just going to be like, it's obviously like a fantasy RPG, but like they didn't want to just, I guess, cut, copy, paste Elder Scrolls and just call it something different.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll be playing it anyway. Most of the games that were announced that are coming day and date to Game Pass, I will at least give a try.
Yep.
But it does look fun.
Yeah, looks very good. I actually thought this one looked excellent. It would be like a lot of fun. Very different for your kind of fantasy RPG. It kind of actually goes back to like old school fantasy RPGs more so
Yeah.
than what we've recently gotten, that sort of thing. And I dig that. I'm pretty excited for that. So I'm gonna give that a go because again, Game Pass. So why the fuck not? Essentially, I think that's a big takeaway for pretty much everything in this showcase. Game Pass. Why the fuck not?
Yeah,
You
why
know.
the fuck not? That should be the official Game Pass tagline.
Why the fuck not? You know.
I
Why
want
not?
Matt.
Yeah.
I want Matt Booty to come out on stage and he looks at us dead in the eyes and be like, "Why the fuck not? It's on there. Snap it. Why the
It's on
fuck
there.
not?"
Download it.
Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. We didn't get any gameplay of this one. We got in-engine like cutscene basically.
Yeah, they showed him fighting an ogre. I think something.
No, in Hellblade we saw her fighting herself.
But I think there's like a big head thing that she had to fight.
No, she was like talking to herself in like inside of a deep dark cave
No.
and everything, and like the walls were like closing in on her. I will say this: they are continuing to do mental illness very, very well in this,
Mhm.
and I'm very excited for how this one unfolds. I really like the original Hellblade. I thought it was a great game.
Yeah,
I
it kind
just
of
wanna
made
see
me want
more.
to play this again because it had
Yeah.
been a long time since I played
Mhm.
It does look very good, but I am concerned because how long have we known about this game now?
it.
Like,
Forever.
Yeah,
and there's still
Before
no
the
gameplay.
They're like, we
original,
just
before
finished.
the consoles came out.
Yeah, there's no actual like gameplay. Did they even announce? I don't think they announced like a
No
release
release date.
window.
Nothing.
So, yeah, that's concerning.
It says 2024 on this trailer, so I guess there's a release window of that, but that's a long time, and also it's been a long time coming. So my hopes are that possibly they like are taking their time to make it as good as humanly possible.
Yeah, I
And
mean that would
you know,
always be the
that's my
preferred.
hopes. I don't think it's going to turn out poorly because I feel like the people that made the original at least have a vision and an idea of what they want to do. So I kind of am looking forward to at least what they're going to do with this game. And new Forza Motorsport, October 10th. We got a release date. Yay!
We're riding in cars.
It was
Yeah.
funny. DJ walked in when this trailer came in, and he's like, "What movie are you watching?"
yeah,
I was like, "Oh no, it's a video game." He's like, "That." He's like, "Really?" He's like, "That's real." I'm like, "Nope, it's a video game."
Gotcha.
I mean that's how I feel like if you want to make like any showcase like wow someone, you just show a racing game because they look literally real.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean that's racing games for me have always been the pinnacle of what can your console do because it's
Yeah.
one of the only games where you get day and night cycles, weather effects,
Mhm.
lighting effects, that whole kind of a thing. And very detailed graphics and whatnot. So
Yeah, and you know how I feel about Forza.
Yeah.
I think the Horizon games are better, but I
Sure.
do think this looks really good. So
it's funny. It always makes me giggle a bit. Where like somebody like me, right? Who like I mean, it probably makes sense because I already do it for a living. I don't want to fucking
Yeah.
come home and do it. Like I'm just not into like Gran Turismo, the Forza Motorsport series because it's like you gotta like I gotta pull my car. I gotta pull a fucking Renault into the shop, a Renault Clio, and like tune it for 18 hours so I can win like this D-class race.
listen, to be
And,
fair,
like,
you
this
can
sounds
download other people's tunes.
horrible.
In
I know,
current
but
Forza
then
and
it feels like
GT7 games.
cheating to me if I just download
Okay,
somebody else's tune.
that's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying, if you want to take a load off while still playing and enjoying
Okay.
these games, you can do that. Because I don't know a lot about cars.
It feels like
I
I'm
just
passing
know
off
they're
cheeseburgers as
pretty
steamed
and they
hams.
go fast, and I like the fast go vroom
That's
vroom.
fair. That's
So
very fair.
that's where I come from when
Yeah,
it
no,
comes to
I
these kind of
understand.
games.
I just don't feel like coming home for 8 hours after messing around with air fuel ratios to then be like, all right, let's get my air fuel ratio going. Like, damn it, this is stupid.
No, I get you. I totally
It's just more
understand.
practice.
Yeah. How'd you get so good at this? You should see the cars that I've tuned.
My man climbs the fucking charts in that iRacing game because he's a fucking actual mechanic.
How are you so
Yeah, I
good
mean,
at
I come
this?
home every night and play. What is it? Surgeon
Surgeon
Simulator.
I was gonna say, what's it? That one hospital game that Sega makes.
2 Point Hospital. That's a good game,
you
though.
just come home and play
yeah.
2 Point Hospital. I
Yep,
would
all of
assume.
them.
Yeah. What else did they?
We got. I'm following along with the guide. Do you guys want
Yeah.
to see my guide? Here, I'll post
Yeah,
it. where you
sure.
can
Because
see
the
whole
one
thing.
that IGN has is out of order from yours. So I was like, he's about to talk
Yeah.
about this. No, he's not.
No, I got it. You can just scroll down after Forza. We go into our first little gameplay trailer of Starfield, which we'll talk more about Starfield in a minute. But I'll just say this: damn, 1 year of work really improved Starfield.
I assumed that what's his name from Microsoft?
Todd Howard.
Let's call him Jeff Xbox.
Phil Spencer.
Billy Xbox went to Todd Howard and was like, "You better fucking figure this out," with like a gun to his head. Just because like it's obviously like their hugest like franchise launch in years because it's their newest one in years,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure like especially after the Redfall debacle, they really want to make sure this.
So
one's,
you
like-
haven't been here. Did you see the Redfall debacle?
Oh, yes, I have. I've seen a lot of it. It's insane.
You saw that like Obsidian didn't want to make the game, so they just made it as bad as possible to try to get it
Yeah.
canceled. That's
Yeah,
fucking
because,
nuts, dude.
What was it like? 60% of the studio left during
during
development-
pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, I don't want to make this fucking game.
And within the last year, they had to change like the entire game because it was originally a live service.
Yeah, no, like absolutely. Like when you talk about crash and burn, like this is.
Yeah.
And at first, I'll be honest with you, like I saw like somebody like running up to a chimney on a house, and like you could just see like the box of the chimney, and then see like the regular roof, and I was like, all right, you're nitpicking a little bit. But then like I actually saw the real issues with it, and then like everything surrounding it, and I was like,
Redfall because of how bad it was.
Yes.
I legitimately loved playing Redfall because it was like the treat that kept on giving, just because of how bad it was.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, for sure. It's a shame though, because like that to me just shows like I can't trust any of this. Because
You can't trust anyone. Period. I mean,
they're
it's
like,
just...
we're gonna delay this for a year so you can get the best experience ever. Meanwhile, the entire studio's like burn it to the ground.
yeah.
And there's just like, no, we're not gonna give you the best experience ever. If we could make the Xbox get up and punch you in the taint and make you shit yourself, we would.
But I will say this, all right? I think now more than ever, Starfield legitimately looks like No Man's Skyrim, and
Yeah.
I like No Man's Sky. All right, I think from where No Man's Sky
I
has
had
come,
no idea.
I think from where No Man's Sky
never
has
heard you
come
talk
to
about
where it is today is incredible, and I
didn't
think
even know you
seeing
bought
all
it.
those, yeah, I didn't either. I think seeing all those aspects crammed into one game and done by a developer that, to be fair, does know what they're doing, just does it very sloppily.
Oh,
When it comes to things like Fallout 4 or Skyrim, because those games are held together with chewing gum and duct tape, I do think there's a lot of potential here. Like, a lot of potential.
Oh,
And
Honestly, it seems like you're buying 5 copies of No
Sky-
Man's Sky all at once and duct taping
Yeah.
them together.
yeah, honestly, yeah, it does.
Yeah, no, it honestly, yeah, the year that they've had in between showing us off the first time and now like, the other day, it definitely looks like they've made leaps and bounds in terms of graphical fidelity and just I had the word and then I lost it. Assets, that's the one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As long as the gameplay is fine and I think the biggest frustration that I get right whenever I play a Bethesda game, obviously mainly Fallout 4, is like when I can play like 3 different Fallout games and they all have the same glitch, and I'm like, this is
No, I understand, but you could probably duplicate things in this game as well, just
Yeah.
like you can in all the others.
well, I mean, every mod for creation engine should work.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for somebody to make a spaceship full of cheese wheels.
So they actually showed that off. They were showing off different ways to play, and this one girl that was on the team was like, I like collecting sandwiches, so any planet I go to, I steal their sandwiches and put them in a docking bay that I've created on my ship just for sandwiches.
That's fair.
It was like, they showed her literally doing it, and I was like, alright, that's kind of cool.
This is a hole just for sandwiches.
Yeah, like she literally made a bay
Yeah,
and had
yeah.
it be just for
Yeah,
sandwiches.
sure, this is my sandwich, like, I forgot what you ordered or whatever.
This is my sandwich orifice. Please, if you have any otherworldly sandwiches, feel free to toss them in.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like I do agree with you that it does, as far as any other game that I've seen Bethesda parade in the last I guess at this point
This is
20
the most
years.
listen game since Skyrim, like
Yeah.
easily.
It like actually does look decent.
Yeah.
But they also do a good job of showing off it. Like I thought Fallout 4 looked great when they showed it off.
To be fair,
But,
we didn't get a 40-minute also like deep dive into Fallout 4 as
True.
opposed to what we did with Starfield, which I do want to talk about after we go over the Xbox showcase, because that 40-minute deep dive was what really sold me on the game to the point that I was like, maybe I need that watch.
Oh yeah.
That
I
watch
know.
is really nice, dude.
I was
Well,
like,
like,
that
I
watch
love-
looks so nice.
Like the controller they have for it looks nice. The
That
headset
really-
looks nice. Like,
Hey,
everything
did
looks
you know
really-
that?
What's
Literally,
that?
they released that controller after the conference.
Yeah, like it all looks really good.
It was just like, oh, it's in stores now.
Yeah,
What?
go get
Fuck, I'll be right back.
Best Buy. Fuck out of here. But if you want to stay in the same Bethesda realm real quick, if you might,
I'm hopping over to Cyberpunk 2077.
I was gonna say in the Bethesda realm and hop back to Cyberpunk because we are on Bethesda right now. If that's cool with you guys.
Yeah.
Big ass shocker. I didn't think we were getting another Fallout add-on for 76.
Oh yeah.
Let alone Atlantic fucking City.
Yeah.
I that to me is wild because okay, so I've been to Washington D.C. obviously, and I've played Fallout 3, so it's like I've been to the places that have been in that game, but I've been to Atlantic City thousands more times than I've been to Washington D.C. So I actually messaged my group chat. I was like, do I actually have to play Fallout fucking 76 now? Because of just the sheer curiosity of the Atlantic City add-on.
I actually have a question for you.
Yeah.
When was the last time you played Fallout 76?
That would be launch.
Okay. Well, I have news for you. The game has gotten infinitely better. We're not talking on the scale of like No Man's Sky better from launch to now, but we're talking like it's legitimately playable and it's pretty fun. Like it's nothing that's going to win awards, but like it's like a solid 60 or 70%. You know, it's not terrible, and it's actually very playable, and it's lots of fun with friends. The building mechanics, since they're still Fallout 4 building mechanics, they're very streamlined more so now, and they actually work very well. The actual gameplay that you can have in the game itself feels a lot better, and it also doesn't run like shit anymore. So I think you'll be very surprised when you do play this. And I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Even if you just record your thoughts and like send them to us so we can listen and respond to them.
I have a soundbite here from Nick.
Yeah.
But no, like, yeah, because when I first booted that game up when it first came out, I was like, wow, it's
absolute
fucking
dog shit. It was basically just nothing.
But then they added the pit, and I was like, oh, you almost got me.
Is very good. I will say that.
Pit. And then they're like, hey, you fuckers want to go to Atlantic City? And I was like, yep,
shit.
I do, actually. So I will be downloading that and playing it. And then if I like it, I will play those add-ons. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that very quickly. And then now we can shift to Cyberpunk gear.
Yeah, since you brought that up, I do want to jump over to a few things that I kind of didn't talk about or skimmed over, since there's like a small list down here.
Okay.
Payday 3 looked really good.
Yeah.
I like the idea of 33 Immortals. Did you guys see that one?
Isn't it by the devs who made Spiritfarer or something?
Yeah, but it's like a top-down isometric view, like beat 'em up kind of game. Similar to something like Hyper Light Drifter or Jotunheim, those kind of games. And it's like Hook is. It has 33 player online co-op.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize I was hopping into a baseball team.
And then we also got Metaphor, as you mentioned before, which is Persona, but not Persona.
It's both not Persona and not SMT, but also
both of them together
at the same time.
I think that looked excellent, though. I thought it looked really good. I'm very excited for that. And the fact that, like, all the Persona stuff that was announced, and SMT stuff, and just Atlas stuff in general, is Game Pass day one. Yep. Like, that's incredible.
Love that.
Yeah, me too. City Skylines 2, if you haven't played City Skylines is a really good city builder, similar to, like, what SimCity used to be before it became a live service and then shot the bed. Very, very in-depth, very fun to play. It's probably better for PC, but I've heard that it works really well for console. Something worth checking out. The Legend of Monkey Island expansion for Sea of Thieves. Much like 76 and No Man's Sky, Sea of Thieves is a great game now, many years later. And like each expansion, the story content of the expansion is just a lot of fun, and it's just kind of something that's added to the game. It's not something you pay extra for, so be able to hop in and experience that, and just get like good 8-10 hours out of it, and then just go back to the normal game or just be done with it. It's really fun to do that every now and again. It's fun to hop in and check in on Sea of Thieves. Fun.
Well, that expansion looked great.
It did. It looked like a lot of fun. And then my thing, which we mentioned earlier, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, which is Yakuza 8. coming in 2024 and being day one Game Pass again. I'm just so excited. More Yakuza. It's the sequel to 7. It takes place in the United States of fucking America. It is like gonna definitely be a fish out of water story because you got a Japanese guy in the U.S. He doesn't know how he got there, and he washed up on the beach completely naked. You're gonna have some interesting things here, especially straight up. You're gonna have some interesting moments here, especially if you like take into account like the crazy stuff that's been in Yakuza as like side missions. I can't wait to see a Japanese person's idea of what an American side mission would be. It makes me very happy thinking about it. So okay, now we can go back to what you were talking about. Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty.
Yes, Phantom Liberty. How do you guys feel about the trailer that was shown?
I thought it looked awesome. I'm excited for more Cyberpunk.
So there's been people tweeting about it. And they're saying that like when Phantom Liberty launches, there's going to be an update for the base Cyberpunk game. Yeah. That basically changes a shit ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it looks better than what we currently have, unless you take into account, the experimental thing, which like 3 computers in the entire world can do. I was gonna say,
so well for first, Phantom Liberty is only available for next gen consoles. So if you have a last gen version of Cyberpunk, it ain't gonna work. The people were saying like there's changes to like your clothing, your skill trees, and how you level up, and things of that nature. Like
that's what we needed, because that was the issue with the original game.
Whatever clothes you wear doesn't supply you any armor. When you level up, you can like basically improve those stats. Mm-hmm. And only when you actually put on like a piece of armor will it provide you with any sort of protection. That's good. So they're saying there's just a lot of changes coming to Cyberpunk. That's going to launch alongside of this, and even if you don't get Phantom Liberty, those changes will still be in the base game. So, I thought that was interesting, but maybe I'll dive. I still haven't finished it because it's almost there for me, but still feels kind of eh. So I'm hoping maybe once like this update launches, it'll feel complete.
So apparently, some people got to go hands on with this, and they were like, "I feel like when this comes out, we'll have the game we were originally promised."
Oh, for sure. That's the vibe that I got, which is crazy because it's almost it's like halfway through 2023, and that game launched not this year. So very interesting.
Idris Elba's character looked really fun. I'm actually really excited to see what happens there. Yeah, no, I like the idea of actually being like they're able to retcon the story of Cyberpunk 2077 and be like, yeah, you can cure yourself, possibly. And I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Listen, when Fallout did it, I liked it, so
yep,
I'm cool with it. So yeah, that looks very, very good.
I agree.
What else we got here?
Clockwork Revolution, which literally just looks like Bioshock.
I literally thought it was Bioshock. I was like, is this another Bioshock game?
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
I was excited the whole time. Like it's a blatant ripoff. Like there's no beating around the bush.
Yeah.
Like it's literally Columbia.
Yeah,
period.
It's interesting.
So in Exile, the people that are making this are the people that made Wasteland 2 and 3.
Yep.
And they do really good when it comes to world building, so I kind of have some faith in them for this. It looks pretty good. Like I like the like world that it showed us and everything. It just looks cool. I'm excited for this one also.
It does look very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Like if they won't give us Bioshock, we'll give you Bioshock.
Yeah, I mean, we are still waiting to see anything from that.
they put on the fucking gauntlet. I'll do it myself.
I don't give a fuck about Overwatch 2 stuff.
Yeah, that was weird. The Overwatch 2 stuff just felt odd because they're like, we were canceling single player, and they were like, but here's a campaign.
I do have to say, and I hope this isn't too extreme of a thing to say. I am so tired of the gay baiting that they're doing with that game. Whenever Blizzard comes under fire for something, they're just like, guess what? This person's gay now. And I'm like, I don't care.
The word you're looking for is pandering, because pandering is when you're doing something just because you want not because you actually care about the,
So
you know,
yeah, so my main thing is like I am all for representation and things of that nature,
mhm,
but it feels like the only time they ever want to launch anything dealing with that is when
mhm.
they're under fire for something.
Because that
And
is
I'm like,
literally
stop it.
because they don't actually care about the community. They don't actually care about those people. They just care about looking like they do, so less people will hate them. And
Yeah,
it
just like
works
knock it
sometimes.
off. Just knock it off.
It
Stop it.
works many times.
Yeah.
And that is a real problem. That is something I've always talked about because you can't really trust companies to be sincere about what they're saying. I mean,
Oh no.
like think about it. Like for instance, I'm gonna make this reference because it's really funny, and my friend pointed it out. For 2 days, Microsoft had the Pride logo on their Xbox
Oh, no, yeah.
social media thing, and then on the third day, it was when Diablo fucking 4 released and they changed it to being on fire.
Yeah, no,
Really,
it's
it was
great.
really funny.
No, it's very good. So yeah, no, like that. I don't give a fuck about the Overwatch stuff anymore. Just stop.
Yeah.
Stop doing that shit. Um, anything else that kind of piqued any of your interests?
um,
We could talk about the new Series S that you mentioned before.
Yeah, we could talk
Yeah.
about that. It
Yes.
launches in September.
September 1st.
Yep. It's got a 1 terabyte SSD now, and it's carbon black, and
Yep.
that is it. It's $50 more than the base Series S.
But in case you did not know, to get another 500 gigs, it's like another $100
Yes.
for like the base Series S
actually,
right
let's
now
just
to get
real
a.
quick.
Yeah, let's double check
What's
that.
the,
Unless maybe they dropped the price.
Let me look up. No, I'm gonna look at Best Buy trade-in
Yeah.
for a Series S, just because
Mhm.
Let's math this out real quick. Gaming hardware, console. Do they not? Are you fucking kidding me? Can you not trade in? You can't trade in the Series S? They have Xbox One S, Xbox One X, 360, Xbox One.
Mm.
You also cannot trade in a PS5. Wild. Okay. Let's just try it. Let me just Google Series S.
An expansion
trade.
card, just so you guys know.
They did recently drop the prices, by the way, so keep that in mind.
No, I'm talking about the current dropped prices.
Yes, that's why I pointed it
1
out.
terabyte expansion card is $150 still.
So it's $150 for how much space?
1 terabyte.
Okay, so if you have a pro membership at GameStop, you can trade in your Series S for up to $165.
ooh.
So the math is so close there because even if you buy the expansion, you have a terabyte and a half now. So it's like, do I, save a couple, like $30-$40 and get another whole half terabyte? Or what
I'm gonna be honest, I like the clean white console finish that they have going on right now with the PS5 and the Series S and the Switch Joy-Cons that are like white. I have my PC, which has a white case, my PS5 and my Series S and my Switch all lined up right next to each other, and it looks really clean. So like, I kind of don't want the carbon fiber one. To be completely honest.
Yeah, I don't, it's whatever. I mean, if you've been holding out, sure, go for it. I still will stand on a hill that Series S is one of the best values you can get to get your foot in the door for next gen gaming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So rock out with a Series S.
Like, if you just want to play something in 30 FPS, 1080p, or whatever, 1440p sometimes, there you go.
I forgot to mention to you guys, because I wasn't just going to message this to you randomly and be like, I got this thing. I did get a 4K TV since we last spoke.
Nice.
So I have been playing things in 4K. And
how do you like it?
Very good. It's very good. I did play Dead Space in 4K. So that
was nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Man, you know what's funny too? Because when you guys were talking about that, I was like listening to Mike, and I felt like what's his name in Interstellar, like banging on the glass. I was like, no, you need. I was like, get the 4K TV looks so much better.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Well, you have to.
I entirely forgot that discussion.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, and like, it was hurting me painfully because you're like, it doesn't look that much better than the original one. I was like, have you played the original one lately? Because holy fuck, it's like cardboard cutouts. It's not good. I did play the original one before playing the remake again, just to be like, let's just see. Woo! My goodness.
I think though my argument was more that it does. I don't think it was going to play any different.
Oh, you can still enjoy it, but it's like, I'm trying to think. Like it's almost like going to your favorite restaurant and they don't have your go-to meal, so you have to get like your second go-to meal, and you're like, this is fine.
Yeah.
I really wanted the souffle, but I guess not.
Or you want chicken McNuggets and you have to go to Burger King.
Yeah.
No, that's like buying a Series S and expecting Series X quality.
It's like you go to the store and you're like, I want a Burger King. You're like, give me one of those Spider Whoppers, and they give you the regular one. You're like, it's not the same. But yeah, no, so I did get a 4K TV, so I have been experiencing a lot of these games in 4K, and let me tell you, it's very good. So if you do get I was gonna say, if you do get a Series S, and you're like, I don't have a 4K TV, I can highly recommend any of the newer TCL series TVs, because they are very budget friendly and do HDR10 and are, very fancy, very 4K, and very nice. So.
Yeah, my mom got one for like $400, I think.
Yeah, I got like a
nice.
65-inch for like $500 on sale.
Yeah.
And it was like a Roku one too. I was like, give me that shit.
You might have the exact one my mom has.
I probably
think
do.
it actually is.
Actually,
Did you get it from Best Buy like a month or two ago?
I got it a few months ago. I still have the box in my spare room. I think it's a 6 series. I don't remember.
Bro, I'm gonna take a picture of the box because it's in my spare room as well, and I'll just send it to you and be like, "Is this your TV?"
Before I get yelled at for people, you understand? You have to break that down. It's big. It's bigger than me, and I'm a large man. So, like, it's very intimidating to look at that box and be like, I'm going to cut you down, because the box looks back at me and says, you think so? And he's very right.
And I looked up online, so it's easy to just harvest cardboard from it. That's my reason.
Yeah. But yeah, so, like, this, even like a 1 terabyte Series S at the price of $350, very good foot in the door for next-gen 4K gaming. So, and
not only that, but like if you have like a 1080p monitor that's like 27 inches or whatever, that's really good for a Series S. It looks incredible. You don't need 4K to enjoy the console if you have like a size, like a monitor that size. It's very nice. And now I guess I'm going to ask my question to you. 4K or 60 FPS, Nick?
I'm going to say it depends on what I'm playing.
Okay.
Truthfully, when I was playing Dead Space, right? Like I wanted higher fidelity than I wanted higher frame rate.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a single player game. That's understandable.
Yeah. If I'm playing like Street Fighter, I want
you want that 60 FPS.
I want 60 frames, 1080. Like I don't give a shit. Like 1440 is fine, but I will take 1080. 60 frames for like a fighting game, or what else I've been playing on PS5 as of late. I had something else that I was playing, and I don't fucking remember what it was. God of War. Like, I was playing God of War in high resolution because I'm like, it's a pretty game. I don't need it to be as fluid.
Fair.
So, like, it honestly, it's a case-by-case basis, depending on what I want to use it for.
I totally understand that.
So, yeah. It's just nice to have the option, honestly.
Yeah,
I never had the option
think
before.
That's such a good, that's one of the best things that came out of this console generation.
Like, again, like, people were poo-pooing Starfield being 4K 30, like, locked 30. Completely fine.
Yeah, there's really no issue there.
And
I mean, I'm the fucking frame rate guy, and if I'm going to tell you there's no issue with something like that, it's a single player game. Like that's my main takeaway. It is a single player game. It's not competitive. It's just a single player, narrative adventure game.
Yes. I also brought up the point
on PC. If it was locked to 30, I'd be like, there's no excuse for that. But if it's just like on console, it's like I understand, because you look at other games. Like, let's take for example one of the worst games that released this year that was hyped up massively. Let's take Forspoken.
Oh yeah,
that is a single player open world narrative adventure game. And even then, I would say that needed to not be like 30 FPS, and the 60 FPS had no excuse for being locked at 720p. That is
Yeah.
insane.
But I also brought up to my friends, and I don't know if you'll agree with this, is that in some instances on console games, it might be due to just poor optimization. Sometimes
It 100% is.
Sometimes 4K 60 can look weird, and like that's why in certain situations, if the 4K 60 hasn't been implemented properly on the game that you're playing, I would like I said, I'd rather just default to 4K locked 30 because I know it'll look fine. But I do know that there's some games that struggle. Like if you're doing both 4K and 60, you're going to drop frames or you're going to drop resolution. Like one of those two things are going to happen.
Yeah.
PC games,
Ratchet and Clank did it the best.
Yeah.
Like, you remember all the, like, options? Like, they had 45 FPS and 4K. That shit was, like, such a good middle ground.
Yes,
and like, using VR with that made it, like, incredible. Those kind of options, that's what I want in my games.
Yeah, PC gaming, I should be 4K, unlocked frames, like, we're ripping. But, like, not with second-gen RDNA graphics and, like, AMD, Ampere, whatever the fuck is in both of these boxes. But, that was my argument. They were like, what are you smoking? I was like, sometimes it looks weird because it can't maintain it. Like, even in, like, combat, like, I feel like in God of War, right? Like, if I was running, like, 4K 60 at the same time, I feel like the amount of enemies on the screen, like, my gameplay experience would be hindered because the game might not be able to, or the console might not be able to keep up with everything it needs to do.
Yeah.
So, that's why I'm like, I'd rather have that because I know that will look perfect. So
I actually had a big issue with the 4K option in God of War, in my opinion, at least. Yeah. My issue was, so I use a monitor, right? Yeah. And my monitor has FreeSync. So it didn't feel as smooth because it was trying to smooth out, and it does drop below 30 at 4K, at least on the newer God of War game. Yeah. And when it tries to smooth that out, it doesn't feel as fluid with the combat. So I actually just left that at 1080p or 1440 or whatever it is for the 60 FPS mode, because I like with the character action games, I like being able to feel like 60 FPS instead. And that's just my thoughts on that, though. But I totally get why someone would be like, nah, I just want to play this. We're going to make it look real pretty. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about...
It will absolutely depend on your hardware, such as like what television you have, what kind of settings you have on your TV and all that stuff as well.
That's what I was trying to explain. I was like, every game doesn't need to be redlining its performance. Like, I will definitely take a lessened experience if it's fluid and just constant and like not interrupted by drops because there's too many fucking bad dudes on the screen.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, very, very good. So, was there anything else from the Xbox games? I know you wanted to talk, Brandon, you wanted to talk about the Starfield stuff.
Yeah, so we had a Starfield showcase after this, and I honestly, looking at everything they showed off in the Starfield showcase, my hype levels from Starfield were like non-existent going into this. I was just like, all right, another Bethesda game, whatever, nothing. Nothing. I had nothing. I was just like at a meh out of 5, essentially. And leaving the Starfield showcase, with everything they showed, all the different, because they went into like lots of detail. They showed customizing your ship. They showed the different weapon varieties they had. They showed the many different skill trees and ways you could combine things together and like synergize them to have like a different kind of character. So someone had like, I go like jetpack is what some person was explaining, and they made a class that was like death from above. Like they would go jetpack and have like as much booster jets as possible, and then from above they would just drop landmines onto people. Or like throw grenades at people and like blow them up, and like they showed it off. They showed how you would spec into that tree and everything, and I was like, "This is fucking cool. This is really cool. This is the kind of shit that I can get behind." I love the idea of being able to play the game this way, or like we talked about the Sandwich Girl way, and all this other stuff. And it's like, it felt like a game that actually had something going on. They have all these thousands of planets, but it's like, okay, well, what are you going to fill in those planets? And they decided to straight up be like, if you land on a planet and there is something there, when you scan that planet initially, you will have key points marked on your your like HUD. So you know this is a place that if you go here, you're gonna get like resources, or you're gonna have like some kind of battle, or you're gonna have some kind of like side quest or whatever. And having the option for something as simple as that, where you don't just go and waste your time on the empty planets, but you can also just kind of fly out to anything, is really cool. And then they showed off the ship combat, and the ship combat had options similar to a game called Elite Dangerous, where you can like lower your shields, but then put the power that you've lowered from your shields into your guns, so that you do more damage with your weapons that are on your ship, and you can like maintain your ship that way in combat. And I thought that was just like super cool. They took like all the best parts of Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, and Star Citizen, and they were like, let's actually make a game out of that.
Yeah.
and it looks awesome. Like, it looks legitimately like something I want to play. It does look like something that could be, and obviously I'm not a mind reader, I can't see the future, but it does at least look like something that could be Game of the Year material. It does look like something that could be like Skyrim, where you get a release of this every other year for your refrigerator and your Amazon Alexa and everything, because it becomes just that big of a title. This is the first title from Bethesda or any modern RPG that I've looked at in a very long time and been like, I could see people playing this 10 years from now if this is as good as they are making it look. And I really am excited to see what happens here. Like, Katie, who does not like space, like, she thinks sci-fi stuff is super boring. She was even looking at this and being like, this looks really fun. And, like, if you can make someone that doesn't like sci-fi stuff say something like that by showing off all the different options and everything, I think you have something special there. And I'm really excited to see if they can stick the landing. Because I think if they do, we really will have a game like Skyrim again. And I'm excited to see what happens. And that's kind of what the, like, 30-40 minute Bethesda Starfield specific direct showed me. It showed me people building like a mech out of their ship by taking different ship parts and like designing it so like it has like boosters in the feet and everything, and it actually looked like a mech. It showed me like slapping together different parts where they were like, every part that you put onto your ship is then also reflected in the game itself. So like you add extra like bays for holding areas and this sort of thing onto your ship, then when you go back into your ship, those things will be there, and you will have more storage space, and you will have more places for like your weapons and this, that, and the other, and there'll be lots of customizations there. And like seeing all those little details come together and actually having someone explain what I'm looking at and then doing it and then actually showing it off and it actually working, for what I can tell, it was very exciting. It makes the game feel like it is really what they've been hyping up for so long, and maybe it was worth the wait.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah,
'Cause I was hoping
agree.
it wasn't just gonna be like one way Fallout or one way Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Like, I was really hoping it was gonna be its own thing.
It
Yeah.
really looks like it is.
And
It
yeah,
really
it
does.
look like it. I mean, like I said, other than what I mentioned before with the typical creation engine jank,
Yeah.
where you can obviously tell, like when an NPC goes to talk to you and they like bungee from halfway across the room and just like, "Hail, traveler!" You're like, oh fuck. Okay.
Oh, did you? Oh, I don't know if you saw it, but like you've probably seen at least enough like Creation Engine and Skyrim and Morrowind and stuff. Like, have you seen the fanatic fan guy?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen that guy
I did
that
see
was
that,
in
yeah.
Oblivion? You remember that guy?
Yeah.
They made a guy exactly like him
did.
and put him in Starfield, and he like even runs up to you and does the exact same. Like, Katie was freaking out when she saw it. She's like, "It's the guy from Oblivion! It's the guy from Oblivion!" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she pulls up on her phone and she shows it to me, and like he was saying the exact word for word speech that he said in Oblivion, but like replace it with different the different space stuff. Yeah, exactly. And like the space clans and that sort of stuff instead. And it was like, oh my god, this is really
that was
neat
funny.
attention
I
to
thought that was
detail.
funny. I imagine there'll be other things like
Yeah.
that in the game.
I would be very surprised if I cannot find a helmet from Skyrim in this game.
I also fully expect either some sort of power armor skin for something, or like a gun from Fallout, because
I'm sure we'll find something from the Doomslayer here.
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure. Um, so yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think they definitely have done a good job in separating this enough from their
Mhm.
pedigree that it doesn't look like just reskinned games, but also make it its own thing. Like,
And their global illumination looked fucking excellent.
yes,
When they showed it off, it was like, damn, bro, you guys like took it from nothing to something. There was a glow up here.
hmm yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna play it when it comes out because, like you
Absolutely.
said, fuck it, it's on Game Pass. Why not? It's
I like I said, I really want that watch, but but on top of that, I know I shouldn't buy it because I think it's like $299, and
I'm
it's
sure
like
it's stupid
it's
expensive.
stupid expensive. I'm
I-
sure of it.
There's certain things that I have a limit of how much I will spend money on. One of those things is watches, another one's wallets. I'm like, I'm not going to spend a shit ton of money on something that holds my
If
money.
I was gonna buy a watch,
Um,
I'd buy the $600 No More Heroes watch if I could find it, because these look so fucking good.
The only watch I would ever find myself splurging on are the JoJo tie-in, like those shit that they made, like the accessories.
Yeah, like the $3,000 watch.
Oh yeah, fuck what?
But you
Well, I would
didn't
need,
know
like-
your watches were that much?
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, are you? I would walk around for that pure
I mean, at least
knowledge
the
of.
No Man's, not the No Man's Sky. Fuck, listen to me. The No More Heroes watches are only 600, and they're G-Shocks, and
I
they
want-
used to be 300, but people have inflated the price fucking
I
a
want
lot.
to walk around with the JoJo watch on and just be like, you know how much I paid for this.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like Sea Dog VA Connor. He fucking walks around wearing the JoJo suit, and that thing's like fucking 10 grand.
oh yeah, ridiculous. But yeah, all the tie-in stuff looks like the headset looks really good. The controller.
Mm-hmm.
I assume there'll be like a special edition console.
It's gotta be, right?
If not, I'm
I'd be
sure
surprised.
somebody will make a skin.
Oh wait, I think they
um,
showed off a special edition console, didn't they?
Did they?
I don't know.
I don't remember a console. I remember the controller and I remember the
The only thing that
headset.
you might be conflating, Brandon, because there was a Porsche console shown off that kind of
Oh
had
my
the same
god,
colors.
you're so right. Hold on, let me do a quick check. Starfield console. No, I think you are right. I think it's 100% the Porsche console I'm getting
And it's
confused
just
with.
like, oh, it's the same colors, and your brain's like, that's the same thing.
Yep.
So yeah. All in all, I do agree that Xbox had the best showing.
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely, yeah.
It was no contest, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited for a lot of the stuff that they have, and like I said, half the excitement just comes from being able to like, oh, I don't have to buy that. I can just play it at my leisure. That's fucking great.
Yep.
So, yeah, very, very good. It does feel weird because like I've just E3 just 100% just being like dead at this point.
Yeah.
Deceased.
There was a article, I don't know if you guys read it. It was Jeffrey, and he was talking about how like E3 like didn't die, it killed itself, and it was pretty like his perspective on it was pretty interesting.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to go to at least once. That would have been cool, but
Well, I don't think that ship
no,
is
that's
sailed.
not. Yeah, that's done. That's no chance for sure. No chance.
Yeah. Shame.
So
I just kind of round out what else is there. Did Ubisoft or Capcom have anything else exciting? I don't think so.
I know Ubisoft announced DLC for Mario and Rabbids.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they announced it. Yeah, they announced the final DLC for Mario and Rabbids.
That's awesome.
I don't know who announced it, but there's DLC for Shredder's Revenge.
That was just announced before everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looks awesome.
Capcom.
Had
I
the
was watching
Apollo
it.
Justice trilogy, which I was
Yeah, we got that. They delayed Pragmata again.
Yep.
Um,
To whenever.
whenever. They released a demo today for Ghost Trick.
Oh, they did.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Did not know that.
carries over. Also, if you guys didn't know, because I'm downloading it after we're done here, the FF16. demo will come
FF16.
out.
Yeah.
So if you want to
Yeah.
try that, and that carries over into the full game when that comes out in.
So there's
2
two
weeks?
things about that actually. I watched that showcase sort of in the background. The demo is the first 2 hours of the game, and that element carries over to the full release that is next week, I believe.
Yeah,
However-
next Friday.
However, once you finish that demo, you unlock a second demo,
Oh,
which does not carry over, but it gives you an idea of the gameplay late game, and it's a specially crafted thing to show you how combat will work later in game.
Oh, that's cool.
okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, and I'm very excited to see how it plays out, because this is something I was super looking forward to. This is like,
16 is my like game for this year that I've been looking for. Like out of everything else that's been going on, this has been my most anticipated.
it was voted ours overall, wasn't it, for this year?
Believe so.
I
don't
think so.
Game of the year last year, we voted it for the most looked forward to game.
But just like the more I hear about it, and the more because like it came out recently that Platinum was involved in some of the development, some of the KH team was involved in some of the development. And then they're saying like they want to try their best to release this game day and date with no day one patch, which is like incredible in my opinion if they can do that, because I feel like most modern games, if they're not broken when they come out, there's a day one patch that's like, 15,
Here's the rest of the
20.
game, and if you don't download it, you don't get the game.
Correct.
Confirmed. Final Fantasy 16 did win our most anticipated.
Nice.
So like that, this is my big release for this year that I've been looking forward to the most for sure.
Mine was, mine still isn't out yet, I guess.
Yeah.
Because maybe when I remind you, it'll also become yours. Bomber Cyberpunk comes out in another month. That's one of my big releases for this year.
Yeah, I do plan on playing that as well. I might get that on Steam Deck, honestly.
I'm probably just gonna get it on Steam, and then you can play it on Steam Deck. So.
Because spoilers, literally besides Street Fighter 6, the only things I've played so far this year have been remakes or remasters.
You played the remake of Resident Evil 4?
No.
You should. It's really fucking good.
If you guys feel like delving into that real quick.
Yeah.
The things I've been playing one was Dead Space.
Uh-huh.
I played the fuck out of Dead Space.
Great choice.
I am elevator pitch. Mostly happy with the things that they did with that game, and felt that the additional stuff that they added on for the most part was fine. The newer missions just felt like fetch quests, and they were kind of annoying.
Okay.
But the boss battles were all like
boss battles were great.
Improved.
Boss battles were great. A lot of the lore that they sprinkled throughout the world was great. It actually like sets up things in a more congealed way that I really liked. The tram system being reworked was just a breath of fresh air. Love that. Yes. Thank you for doing that. So Dead Space. After I finished Dead Space, I went right into to Metroid Prime because I wasn't gonna not play Metroid Prime. And then I've been chipping away at the Battle Network collection.
Damn, bro, you just out here. Okay. Listen, at this point, you gotta play Resident Evil 4. You've gotta play it.
I do want to play it. I do. But, like, I'm not...
I'm just saying, so far, before Exoprimal was released, and I'm going to say knock on wood, Capcom has not missed this year. They have not missed
Exoprimal
at all.
Is on my queue. I've downloaded it to my console. I will be
It looks like shit, and that's why I'm saying, before Exoprimal's release, Capcom has not missed this year.
I also made a rule for myself that I didn't share with you guys, that I was going to at least play a couple of what I would call Brandon games.
Okay.
So there was one that I think you told us to play a while ago, and I never played it. Let me see. I'm booting up my Xbox app.
Is it called Hypno Space Outlaw?
It is exactly Hypno Space Outlaw.
I knew exactly what it was.
What the fuck?
That game is incredible.
So I saw that, and I was like, this seems like some shit Brandon would...
So, you want to know something interesting about that game? A sequel to it just released, but you don't know it's a sequel yet. There's a sequel that's called Slayer X. That just released on Game Pass. Yep, that is a sequel to Hypno Space Outlaw, but you would not know that unless you've played Hypno Space Outlaw.
So that is on my list of things to play. I mean, at this point, it's like 3 years old. So
it's a great game.
I downloaded that because like I found myself like being kind of bored, and I was like, I want to play something, and like I re-downloaded
Brandon game.
I re-downloaded Fallout New Vegas, and I was just playing New Vegas again. Because that game's great. I was like, I gotta play a Brandon game.
Have I given you any Brandon games for this year yet?
For this year?
Yeah.
No.
Other
than the ones that you've talked about.
All right, like, Fear and Hunger. Fear and Hunger. Melatonin.
Yeah.
Fuck. What's the name of this other one? Pizza Tower. Those are your three.
You did mention that to me.
Yeah.
I do want to play
Pizza
that.
Tower.
Rhythm
what was
Sprout
the-
also very, very good. Rhythm Sprout's
was
very
the
good. Only
other
like 4
one?
hours long. Rhythm Sprout is awesome.
There was another one that I wanted to play, and it just popped into my head.
Okay.
And then it left, and what jarred it in my memory was thinking of Return of the Obra Dinn, but what the fuck was it? Oh, it's in Xbox thing too. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. This one's more of a just like a visual novel based game. What the fuck was it? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Why is my list of games? Oh, me on my library. That would make sense. What the fuck was? Oh, I'm not signed in. You
That
bitch.
would help.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that right now. Like,
Do you remember what it's about or what it looks like?
let me go to. Do I have Game Pass on my PC? I should have Game Pass. Yeah, I think it was like a newer. Hold on. Recent.
I'm scrolling through it right now and I'm like, what could it
Recent.
be?
Oh, Citizen Sleeper. I'm playing
yeah.
Citizen Sleeper.
Okay.
I'm gonna play that. I downloaded that as well.
I've heard very good things about that one.
Yeah. So I also consider that like a Brandon game because just the vibes it gave for me.
Yeah. I mean, there's a game I haven't got to play, but it's definitely a Brandon game that came out this year.
That came out.
What?
Oh no, that's the original one. Oh, I saw Phantom Dust on my thing. I was like, wait, what? I was confused. But yeah, like that's so. I'm excited for 16, and I was obviously excited for Street Fighter 6 because it's like the first new things I really played this year.
Street Fighter 6 is so good.
Street Fighter 6 is very good. Love it. It's a 180 between me enjoying Street Fighter 5 and me enjoying Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, Street Fighter 5 is fucking dog shit.
Hot dog
Street
shit.
Fighter 6 is like so fucking good.
Yeah, it's very, very user friendly, very beginner friendly, and it looks great. But yeah, I do want to play the RE4 remake, but I might wait for that to go on like a sale or something because
it definitely will. I would say even at like $44, that's totally
I enjoy
worth it.
watching that game more than I like playing it.
I think
not
I think
RE4,
the remake,
but just any of them.
I was gonna say I think the remake fixes a lot of problems with the original. Game.
I bought the original remakes, like the 1 remake, and I think I bought the second one.
General, there's a game for you. This is another Brandon game. I haven't got to play this one yet, but I've been I've been on this. It looks like so good.
Pixels? Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
This one's on my radar for sure.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
This game looks rad.
I saw I saw the words procedurally generated, and I was like, yes.
So I'll go ahead and I guess I should probably share with the class. This game that I just showed off is called Shadows of Doubt. It is a procedurally generated murder mystery game in like a film noir setting where the design is made out of voxels and it's open world. Very, very interesting. Very, very different. Something I'm super looking forward to.
That looks really cool.
Those look very good. I feel like there's a couple of voxel games that are like
Teardown.
Right now. Yeah.
Teardown.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what that other one was that we were talking about with the Sony showcase.
Yeah, that game looks awesome. I've played it on PC. It looks like it's translating well over to console, and they just announced a creative mode for the PC version where you can like design your own maps and everything. So, I'm pretty happy about that, and it makes it easier for people to design them. So, I mean, it's looking like it'll be really fun on console. So I recommend Teardown also. But that one's kind of been out for a while, so it'll be coming to console though, like in a few months for the first time. So see how that is. So many good games this year. Like as opposed to really last year, it's just so night and day. Because last year was like,
like I really think since the pandemic, like we've just kind of had like kind of slow years, and I feel like everything's kind of just hit the fan all of a sudden.
Yeah, this year has like had. I'm gonna make sure I get this right. Games that released and hold on, games that released in. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I feel like this has been the best year we've had since possibly 2011 for video games. Yeah. So, yeah, because, like, in case you don't know, 2011 was Dark Souls, Modern Warfare 3, Saints Row the Third, Portal 2, Dead Space 2, Arkham City, like, all those fucking classics released in 2011. Not to mention Skyrim. So
Yeah,
Shadows of the Dam, which we mentioned before as well.
I'll probably play
Like,
that again.
Yeah, and Bulletstorm. Like, all those games were released in 2011, and I feel like the lineup for this year is like at least as good as that lineup was that year. There's so many good fucking games coming out.
Yeah, it's been a great year so far, and there's a lot more fucking great shit coming out.
I think really the only game that I've heard any negative things about so far this
Is
year
Redfall?
that's the second one. Besides Redfall was the Gollum game.
Oh my god, it's one of the worst games released this year.
I feel like we've talked a lot of shit about games so far this year, though, too.
But I've talked a lot of shit about their optimization and how they run, not specifically them being bad.
I saved the image to my
just
phone
bad.
Of the black and white picture of Gollum's head. It just says Gollum has won the argument. And like if I'm like arguing with somebody on Facebook, because like I have a pastime of like going onto my like town's Facebook pages, riling up the olds, and I'll just post that and just be like, I've won. Yeah, no, I think it's really funny.
I also think games that we never expected to actually be good that finally released this year are actually at the very least good to great. Like, for instance, Atomic Heart. It's a really good game. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not phenomenal, but it's a really good game that's BioShock-like, and it'll get you there. It'll get you there. And then Dead Island 2 is not terrible. It's pretty good. Like, those two games were in development hell for, like, fucking decades, basically.
Yeah.
And they're both actually playable and good games. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this year's been just great overall.
Yeah, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. So,
what else? Anything else?
No, I mentioned before, Jet Set Radio had a collab with Roller Champions announced at the Ubisoft conference today. and I firmly believe there's got to be something. Sega's cooking something. They got to be cooking something. You know, we got that leak from the thing that was on their year-end review from 2021.
You know how
that
was checked Twitter today?
What?
Hideki Naganuma.
Oh, what's he saying? What's my funky uncle telling us?
I don't know what funky.
What's up with our funky uncle?
He posted. Oh, he hasn't tweeted. Oh, he might be dead. He hasn't tweeted since the second.
Don't say something like that. I'm sad now.
The last tweet he had was I guess it's the final for Bomber Cyberpunk, and then
it is not. It is. This is not. You're talking about the soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
This is fuck. What's the name of this game?
Bomber. Lethal League.
Lethal League. Yeah. That's the thing.
And then right before that tweet, he says, "What is cat girl? What is cat boy? Cat is free."
That's from March, right?
That's from June.
I
think the best tweet that he put out so far this month was, "The President of the United States fell over, but he's okay. Don't worry. He is only 80 years old." So yeah, he didn't tweet anything about that shit. So, yeah. I had nothing else to comment on as far as announcements goes.
Okay. Anything else you did you comment on while you're on?
Brandon, or I guess Mike too, but this seems like more of like a Brandon thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have either of you watched You Should Leave with Tim Robinson?
Well, I was just talking to Brandon about this because I just saw a clip from this, and I have not watched it. But
I have not.
It is. So, have either of you seen Tim and Eric stuff?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, first off, Tim Heidecker does make cameos. There's like some like celebrity cameos in the show. It's weirder than some of the Tim and Eric stuff. But it is funny. It is very absurd, but it is funny. And like each episode is about 15 minutes, so you can bang out a season in like an hour or so. Okay. Yeah, it's goofy. It's goofy as shit. I really like it.
Tim and Eric was one of those things where it's like I didn't like it at first, and it actually super annoyed me. And then like the more I watched it, the more I was like, I'm ironically watching this. Oh god, now I actually like it. Fuck.
Yeah. I will say it is funny or high, but then again, like I could.
What isn't?
I could look at a bag of frozen blueberries and be like, yeah,
that shit's good.
What else? I did see Across the Spider-Verse. Go see that if you haven't. It is legitimately the best Spider-Man thing we've ever gotten.
I haven't seen
Um,
it.
It's so good. It's so good. There's a lot in it. Like, you're gonna have to watch it a couple of times.
Hmm.
But like, if I could just a small smidgen for you, uh, have you seen in the trailers where they're in like the area with all the different Spider-Men from across all
Yes,
the
yes,
different
yes, yes,
universes?
yes.
If you look closely, you do see the Spider-Man popsicle. At one point, like a Spider-Man plushie just dive bombs Miles' face. Um, and there's callbacks to like the edgy Spider-Man comics back in like the
Mhm.
90s. Like it's very good. If you're
Isn't the
like,
Spider-Man PS1 Spider-Man in it?
yep, it is very good. And if you're a longtime Spider-Man fan, even if you're not, but if you're a longtime Spider-Man fan, you'll enjoy it that much more because there's just a lot of just callbacks to things in it, and it's good. It's a very good movie. Did I watch anything else? I'm about to finish Spy Family. I also
Oh, you're
picked
almost finished with Spy Family? Nice.
season 1, yeah, and
Oh,
I
okay.
just
What do you
picked.
think of it? What do you think of it so far?
It's cute. It's very good. I like it. I like the dramatization of Berlin and Poland. Um, I also started up the endings seasons of Monogatari
Hmm.
because I never finished that, and that is like as of right now like written finished, but not like the story's not finished. They haven't written anything else. So what the what?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to really bring up, though. No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
All right. You guys ready to wrap up?
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts, and Game Dash Crunch has all the episodes from the last 10 years.
Whoa.
Oh, there. Yeah. 10 years.
That's fucking crazy.
Think about it. You could listen to 10 episodes of Game Crunch a week, and it would take you a full year to listen to all of them. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to hear our steaming hot takes on games that released on the on the
yeah.
PS3,
I know. Oh, first episode we talked a lot about the rage of the time was Animal Crossing 3DS.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So if you
Yep.
want to hear fucking ramblings about that, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, so yeah, just just go time travel a little bit. Go see all the crazy shit that's there. So where else can you reach out to us? Facebook, Twitter. We're there. Brandon,
Yeah.
any final thoughts?
Yeah. No, not really.
Yeah. All right. Nick?
Yeah, just thanks for having me back on.
Thanks
It
for
was nice
coming
to-
back.
Of course,
Yeah.
I wasn't good. Michael, like it's 10-year anniversary. I couldn't say no. What was I
Hell
doing that
yeah.
for? It was nice talking to you both again. I will continuously and forever apologize for my life that is very hectic that I can't do this full time anymore. But it was nice to sit
That
down
is-
with you gents again and speak.
Totally understandable. I'm happy that you joined us for this. I'm like
Yeah.
super happy.
That was a
course.
great episode to have you back on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had a lot to talk about.
We
It was
sure
kind of
did.
nice to catch up to you after 6 months,
We should do that every 6 months.
Probably in 6 months it'll be game of the year. So
I was gonna say 6 months ago we Game of the Year, which you already said he's coming back for. So
Oh,
yeah,
for sure. I need to be the tiebreaker.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
You know,
right.
when Mike is like, I think, I don't know, Starfield should get game of the year, and Brandon's like, I think
Random
Bubblegum
indie game.
Bubblegum Fart Man is the greatest creation of all time.
You know what? Since you're playing Brandon games, as you put it, you might actually just show back up and be like, actually, I have thoughts on Bubblegum Fart Man. And you know what? I agree with Brandon.
Like, what do you mean it's not game of the year? They did the whole soundtrack on a hurdy-gurdy. Fuck you.
Bro, you just make me sound like a fucking legitimate hipster with the way you're describing me.
I mean, sometimes you do. Just
I just like indie games. That's all there is to it.
They brought in Poopy McScoopy, and he killed it. I'm like, oh, okay.
That man's actually dead. I don't know how he fucking just.
Posthumously phoned in Poopy McScoopy, and he gave the delivery of lines that I've never seen before in my life.
Dude, you should have heard the AI algorithm that they used to design the music. It was incredible. It should have won a fucking Emmy. What's the music one? I don't know.
They put in the AI filter flute, hard farts,
Yeah.
and moving frantically, and I cried.
Bruh, I feel like for the last 6 months, Nick has just been, brushing up on his impression of me at this point.
Well, it's because now all you can do is listen to you. You can't talk back.
Like I said, like I always bang through the glass like I'm fucking what's his name in Interstellar. Oh man, but yeah. So like I said, thanks for having me. It's good to be back.
Great to see you again.
And before you go, I'm gonna put into the general chat some pictures that I've taken from Street Fighter 6 for you to see, Nick.
Okay, very good. Let me just see what we've got here.
I'm gonna start with this one.
Okay.
My custom character attempting a wink and Cammy's ass in the
A
background.
whole lot of Cammy's ass. I appreciate that. Very good.
Yep.
I will let you know in terms of Cammy. I still am doing the fighting game tournaments, and I was playing as classic Cammy last Monday, and all I could think about is how her classic costume, like her cooch, must feel like a man who has like a rag in its mouth and like is being restrained.
Like, dude, the stuff you could do in this game is so good.
It's very good. I love that little like photo op spot. It's very, very nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I got this one.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
very
right. I showed you this one, but here's a better image of it.
I'm trying to think what that reminds me of, but it's not firing off in my head. But it's that there's something going on there that reminds me of something.
I don't know. I found a swimsuit, a Japanese swimsuit, and I fucking slapped it on. I took the wings, and you can actually, in case you don't know, you can edit the exact positioning of every item on your character if you go into like the detailed editing. So I moved the wings from my back to my literal butt cheeks,
You know,
and I put them on the
you know what your
back of my
character
ass.
looks like?
What?
Your character looks like a weird version of the devil from Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny. For sure. Yeah, that was very good. I love that. I'll have to send you my Capcom ID as well, so we can
Awesome.
be on
Totally
that.
down for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just play because it's cross-platform with everything. I'm so happy that
Very good.
Capcom's just knocking it out of the park this year. I'm happy for them.
Oops, all bangers.
Exactly. It's like, thanks, Capcom.
Anyways, with that said, I'm Mike Anastasia. Find me online, Clash of Penguin, on your gaming console, or I don't know, wherever you are online, really. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
Game.
Game Crunch, fuck yeah! Coming here to save the motherfucking day, yeah. Game Crunch, fuck yeah!
Gaming podcast #1, yeah.
Podcasters, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to Game Crunch, fuck yeah! Gaming news and more for you, yeah! Game Crunch, fuck yeah! What you gonna do when we come for you now?
The gaming dream that we share is the hope for tomorrow.
Fuck yeah! Mario, fuck yeah! Zelda, fuck yeah! Metroid, fuck yeah! Halo, fuck yeah! Metal Gear, fuck yeah! Final Fantasy, fuck yeah! God of War, fuck yeah! Uncharted, fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
I saw this really good joke on Twitter, Mike.
Mhm. Yeah.
It had this guy. He's like, I like to start off my week by buying 20 cheeseburgers from McDonald's through DoorDash, and
Mhm.
then just heating them up the rest of the week throughout the week. And then there was a comment on the post that says, I don't think you understand how food poisoning works. And the guy wrote back, I don't think food poisoning understands how I work. Ain't no damn way I'm playing multiple times to get DoorDash to deliver me more cheeseburgers over the week.
Yeah, exactly. It's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I did just see a funny video, speaking of like drive-through burger things,
Mhm.
from I guess a Netflix show I hadn't heard about, but it's like the guy's been memed a lot of times. I saw the meme and I instantly recognized the guy. But like he goes to like the drive-through
Mhm.
and he just has like a very small order, like small burgers, small drink, whatever. And
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh, I want to pay forward to the person behind me."
Oh god,
And they're like,
that.
"Oh, okay." And so then he like zooms out of like the thing and just goes back and behind him. And he's like, 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tater tots. And like just keeps going on this whole list. And there's like, that's gonna be $680. And then the guy sees it and he's like, oh shit. The guy's like, I'm not paying. And then the lady behind him like was like, what the fuck is going on? Why aren't you guys driving? And he's like, he's trying to start a pay it forward chain. And so she like slams in reverse and is like, 55 burgers, 55 fries. So it's the same kind of like energy. Just in,
Yeah,
like a different way.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Can you believe that we've been at this for 10 years? I don't know how we got here, but it's a big deal. We may just wing it, but till then sing it. Game Crunch, Game Crunch. Movies, games, and songs and books. Game Crunch, Game Crunch. Now it's time for second look. Game Crunch, 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 Crunch. There's a danger friends behind you. There's a danger out to find you. That's how you know you're listening to Game Crunch, Game Crunch. Nick says he's playing games, but it's not. Game Crunch, Game Crunch. Mike will poke fun at you a lot. Game Crunch, Game Crunch. Okay, let's get started now. Game Crunch, Game Crunch. Welcome to Order 333, episode number 1. This is the Shadow of the Eternals community podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia, and I'm Clash of Penguin on the forums. With me today is Brandon.
I'm Kagata Asuka on the forums. Hello, everybody.
And then we got Tom.
I'm What's Up 2021 on the forums. How you guys doing?
Awesome. All right, so today we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. We're going to do a little bit of what you're playing. We're going to get some E3 talk in there, maybe some Shadow of the Eternals news. You guys ready to get started?
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
do this.
Let's do it. All right, Brandon, let's start us
Yes. All right. Lately, I've been playing. Well, first and foremost, I've been playing Animal Crossing since the day
Haven't
it's
we
come
all?
out.
Good.
I have not stopped playing it. Like,
So good.
I actually had a friend that I was just playing with before I came in here. It's been ridiculous. It's so much fun. I haven't played one really in full or sat down and played one since probably the GameCube version. I mean, I played a little of the DS and some of the Wii one, which I don't like to talk about that. That was not good at all. It was terrible. I tried new things, but it just was not good.
Honestly,
and,
I've never even played an Animal Crossing before. This is my first one, and
Wow.
I feel like I'm
It's-
terrible at it.
What are you doing right now? Where are you at?
I'm fishing, and I
Oh,
just got my
okay.
permit, so it's a good time.
Oh, nice.
That is like 90% of the game, though.
Yeah, the whole game is just an experience. It's not a game in the traditional sense, but it hooks you in, and it can be a little bit addicting.
Congrats, listeners. Game Crunch has made it to 10 fucking years. Now you gotta listen to me sing. You say Game Crunch is a podcast about video games and things. You try to talk back to us, but you're just talking to a screen. Why so sad? You know Brandon would wouldn't agree with you anyways. Now you're making him mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, we're your podcast. And there's Nick, and you'll see playing games for him is fantasy. Then there's Mike, stirring hell, but you know in his heart he means well. Consoles rise, developers fall. We have seen each other through it all. And if you stop listening to us, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of our love. Da 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 da. Everybody.
See, this is a podcast montage.
I'm not going to go on a podcast. I'm sad about things.
Yo, give me them goose.
It's just been a mess.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm in.
Gun to your face. You have to pick your favorite.
We hear the order.
Happy 10 years, Game Crunch.
Oh, this can't be happening!
This can't be
This
happening.
cannot
Oh,
be
this
happening.
can't be happening!
Oh man, you hear that quiet? It's just me and you now. You made it to the end of the episode. And I don't know. I apologize for all the singing. I just got compelled to kind of update all these old songs that we had over the last 10 years. So this is just me reminiscing for a minute with you guys. The few of you who probably bothered to suffer through all of the songs in this episode. You know what? Thank you. Thank you. Honestly. It's kind of wild sitting here as I'm editing this episode. And I'm like, hey, I've been doing this for 10 years. It's wild. Such a huge chunk of my life has been this podcast and, being with Brandon and Nick and the many other guests that we've had over the years. And we do it every week. And when we hit these milestones like this, it really doesn't, feel real sometimes. It's like, oh, it's, 500. Let's throw together another song and, do a game debate or something fun. And I don't know. It's just, we do this because we love it. And I don't know. I just thank you everyone for listening to us over the years. Thank you to everyone for your support. Thank you to everyone who's ever been a guest on the show. Thank you for anyone who's ever listened to a single episode. Thank you for everyone who's shared the podcast with a friend. Thank you for everyone who's ever reached out to us on Twitter or wherever. You guys are awesome. And I appreciate you guys listening to us every week. And I know we don't have a lot of listeners, but I'm just happy to do this. And that's why we do it, because we have a lot of fun doing it. So I hope that you guys continue to have fun with us. And I hope that you keep doing what you're doing, keep playing games, keep letting us know what you like and don't like, and keep having fun with us. So, for realsies this time, until next week, game on.